How you forget to let me know that the police came by here today looking for me? Like, that's something you should have, as soon as they left, you should have been calling me, texting me. My sister about to do my hair. She about to put my wig on for me, so I'm about to take these braids out. I ain't want to do it. It's probably gonna be loud out here, so I hope y'all can hear me. Oh, I don't know where to cut it. Hold on. Because like, I live on a high traffic road, but I didn't want to take my hair out in the house because I just mopped my floor and I don't feel like sweeping up all this hair and all that. Like, I don't like when the hair be all over my couch and all that. Like, So I'm just gonna take these braids out, but I'm gonna tell y'all about the time that I went to jail. Okay, so where do I start? When my firstborn was about 1 year old, that was my first child. I was a single mom, like basically just trying to make ends meet. I had a job, but I was still pretty much like just robbing Peter to pay Paul. Like, I couldn't pay one bill in order to pay another bill, pretty much. And I really needed all the help that I can get. So I applied for food assistance. And I wasn't being honest, like, on some of the documents, but it was an idea that I received from someone else, in which I'm not gonna like put their name and out there because I chose to do it, you know. And so for a long time, like, it didn't affect me. And at that time, when it actually came forward, I wasn't even receiving it, like, no more. Like, it was like 4 years later. I had changed jobs, I had another baby and everything, so I wasn't even getting it anymore. But it caught up with me. So the first thing that happened was they sent me a letter. And to be honest, when I first got the letter, I didn't take it serious at all. Like, I just pretty much opened it, I read over it. I did call the number that was on the letter, but you know, nobody answered. So I'm just like, oh, okay, you know, it ain't that serious. So then a couple of months later, I ended up getting a second letter. So I'm just like, okay, now I'm taking it a little bit more serious now, because it's just like, this is the second letter that I done got. Even though I did call, nobody answered, nobody called me back. But you know, I need to get in contact with somebody just to see like what's really going on. Which, I mean, I knew what was going on, but of course I'm not thinking it's gonna catch up to me, especially after all this time. So when I do finally talk to somebody, they was just telling me like, oh, well, yeah, there's 3 things that could happen. You know, they can investigate it and it be a mistake and they just, you know, cancel the case, or they'll just have you pay whatever you owe back, like whatever you were actually supposed to receive versus what you actually received. They just have you pay the extra amount back. Or the third option is you could actually go to jail. So I'm just like, well, considering that I don't receive it no more, considering that it's been a long time ago, like, you know, hopefully they go with either the first or the second option. Like, they deem it as, okay, you know, we just gonna let it ride. Or they'll just have me pay it back. Like, I had never been to jail before. I didn't plan on ever going to jail. And I just really didn't think the shit that I did was gonna catch up with me. So I was just like, okay, you know, I decided that I'm gonna just cooperate with whatever, because it ain't like, in a sense, I wanted to own up to the wrong that I had did, but in another sense, it's just like I really didn't want to be punished for it. But what the fuck did I really expect? I mean, you did the crime, you do the time, right? But I mean, in some way, you're gonna have to pay. Whether it's going to jail, paying the money back, like some way, you have to be accountable for what you did. So months and months went past. Like, I was so scared all the time. I really never been in trouble before, and not being knowledgeable about like how the law work and stuff like that, I decided that I'm gonna go and sit with the investigator. I go and sit with the investigator. He asked me questions. I'm being honest, but I'm also still like not trying to give too much detail, you know. Stupid me. What I should have did at that time was you know, got in contact with a lawyer. That way I ain't really have to, since I didn't know a lot, I shouldn't have said anything, but I did. Just being the person that I am, I did. And so he was honestly getting upset because even though I was answering his questions, I wasn't giving him the detail that he wanted or that he needed. So he got mad. He ended the interview, and it was just like, oh, okay. At this point, I kind of was just like, you know, it is what it is. Whatever they decide to do, I'm gonna just have to deal with it anyway. I mean, and sadly, it ended up happening at the like one of the worst times of my life. Like, I had wait till this pass. Like, it was literally months. I think I did the if I'm not mistaken, I think I did the yeah, I think I did that interview with the investigator in like April of 2018, I think. But I didn't actually get arrested until September 28th of 2018. So like 5 months later, you know. But every day of those 5 months, I was anxious about what would happen, when it would happen, how it would happen, how would I react when it happened, you know, all of that. Like, all of that was on my mind all the time. Every time I seen a police officer, anything like that, I was just like nervous. And I'm just like, I hope they don't come to my job. Like, what if they do it in an embarrassing way when there's a lot of people around and all, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they is gonna arrest me, like, what if they do it when a lot of people around? Like, I was so embarrassed. And then I was the type of person that used to like check the booking report and stuff all the time, and I know people who do that and see, you know, and how nosy. I don't know. I used to do it, and I used to know I used to do it, and I used to know a lot of people that did it too. So it's just like having somebody see me like on the booking report, like that was one of my biggest fears. But I mean, it happened, and I guess just because I was so worried about it all the time, I kind of manifested it into my life. But yeah, it was crazy because I was planning to go out of town. My son's birthday is on October 2nd, so we was planning to go out of town that weekend before his birthday to just celebrate, and I ended up getting arrested like on, I think it was like a, dang, I'm not sure. I think it was like a Wednesday night or a Thursday night or something like that. Yeah, I think it was a Wednesday night. I ended up getting arrested. or like Wednesday night, Thursday morning, because it was like 1 a.m. I had just got home, and you know, took a shower and everything, and next thing you know, I had 2 officers knocking on my door. And if you know me, I don't have a lot of people at my house, especially nobody coming to my house that late at night. So I'm just like, you know, who is it? I'm literally like foot just stepping out the shower, somebody knocking on the door. So I got my towel on, I go to the window, and I'm just like, who is it? So they was just like, you know, TPD. And I'm just like, who y'all looking for? So then, you know, they said my name. They just like, you know, we looking for you. So I'm like, looking for who? And they like, we looking for you. What's your name? So I'm just like, I'm quiet now, because I'm thinking like, dang, you know, what I done did today. I remember I had went to Publix earlier that day, and I was getting ready to back out, and the lady was backing out at the same time. She was mad because I went ahead and backed out. Like, girl, if you hit my car, you already know. But I backed out and pulled off. So I'm like, I wonder if she got my tag number and then called the police or something. You know, I'm just thinking about everything. I don't do nothing like that, you know what I'm saying, to have no officers coming to my house. But then I remembered, like, girl, you've been under investigation for this little case for a couple of months now. Like, even though it ain't even something that you involved with no more, like, you still under investigation. And like I said, I had the little app where you could go and check to see, like, if you had a warrant or whatever. And I would check the app all the time, and my name never came up. It never said that I had a warrant or nothing like that. So I'm not thinking it's that. But then I'm just like, what else could it be, though? You know? So now I'm just like, okay. You know what I'm saying? I just got the shower. Let me put my clothes on. So I put some clothes on. Like I said, never been to jail before. I go and put on, like, some shorts and just a t-shirt and some slides. I grab my phone and everything. So I come to the door, I open the door. You know, they ask me, like, do you know what we here for? And I'm like, I think I have an idea, but I'm not sure. They just like, oh, okay, well, we just need you to go ahead and put your hands behind your back. It was like, you could really leave your phone here. You know, ain't nothing you're going to be able to do with your phone. Y'all, they had them parked. They ain't pulled in front of my house. Like, they weren't parked in front of my house. They had them parked down the street and walked up the sidewalk to my house. And the crazy thing is, at the time, y'all, I was in a relationship. I forgot to include that. I was in a relationship. And my boyfriend had been home. He had knew that they had came by that day. And he, quote unquote, forgot to let me know that they came by. How is that something you forget to let somebody know? How? How you forget to let me know that the police came by here today looking for me? Like, that's something you should have, as soon as they left, you should have been calling me, texting me, or whatever, letting me know, like, hey, you know what I'm saying? What you got going on, such and such, da-da-da. Nah. Boy.
Okay, real quick. Honestly, y'all, the reason why I feel like he didn't tell me was because I was out getting my lick back. Like, that's the reason why I had got home so late. And he felt the type of way about it. But that's a story for another time. But yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So, I'm pissed off about that. I'm pissed off that now I'm thinking I'm finna, you know, get ready to lay down and go to sleep, because I got to be to work tomorrow at like 8:30. And it's 1 o'clock. And my ass finna go to fucking jail. I don't know how long I'm finna be in here. I don't know how this shit work. You know what I'm saying? Like, my children got to go to school the next day. It was a lot. But I couldn't even, at the time, initially, I thought when it happened, like, I was gonna, you know, be real hurt. I was gonna be crying. But when it came, it was just like, all right, let's just go ahead and get this over with and move forward. So, you know, I'm walking to the police car like a G. You know me, walking to the police car like a G. And I get in the bed. That wasn't my first time being in the back of a police car, so I knew, like, the seat was hard, how it was going to be uncomfortable and all that. But I had never been, like, in a police car actually going to jail. When I was in a police car before, like, it was for some other dumb shit, like, when I was younger. Getting kicked out, but quote-unquote claiming that I ran away and they taking me like back home, you know, that type of shit. But I ain't never been for like no crime. But anyway, so we get to the police station. They do the little search, ask, you know, if I'm pregnant or anything like that. They make me pee in the cup. They go over all these questions with me. So when you first walk in, they got like this board that's on the wall, and it's basically like a whole bunch of careers and positions that where what I'm trying to say, hold on, let me get it right in my head. In order for your picture not to be posted on the booking report, if you were in any of like the employment positions or careers like within the last like 5 years or current or anything like that, then they won't post your picture on the booking report. So I'm like, okay, cool, because I see my job and my job title in there, you know. And I'm like, okay, cool, you know, that's even better. A lot of people don't even really know my real name like that. So if they see my name on there, that's cool. But it, you know, if my picture ain't on there, I'm pretty much good. You know, we can just go ahead and get this out the way, nip it in the bud, and keep moving. So I tell the lady, you know, like, you know, I work for who I work for, my job title. And she was like, you don't work there. Why are you lying or whatever? And I'm just like, why you feel like I'm lying? But y'all, at the time, my hair was red, like bright red. Like that's all I used to wear is red hair. And a red Jeep just rolled by. But I used to wear red hair all the time. So I guess she felt like because I had red hair that I was lying about where I worked. And I guess just how I look. I guess to her, I look hood. But so she was just like, all right, I'm gonna let you fill out the form, but if you don't really work there, then, you know, you can get in trouble for that. I guess she was trying to like look it up in the system and all that, and it wasn't coming up. But she wasn't really even going over. I guess I had like a whole file before I got there because I had a warrant and everything. So she wasn't even really looking over my file. By this time, since she wasn't doing what she was supposed to do properly, now it's a shift change. So this whole time I'm cold. And I'm asking her, like, how long it's going to take, because I got to be to work in the morning at 8 o'clock. And I ain't trying to be late. So I'm just like, you know, if I got to go to court, what time that start, how long that's going to be, so I can call my job, or at least, you know what I'm saying? This just need to work its way out. Oh, it's an orange butterfly. And then, what happened? So when the person on the next shift came in, I took like my picture, I filled out some documents and stuff, and they were saying, oh, you know, you was actually supposed to been out, I think it's something called like R&R. All you have to do now is when you get out, go to the probation officer and they'll let you know your terms and conditions until your actual like court date or whatever. So I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, I wish I'd have known that earlier. I could have been out. I could have got some sleep and all that before I had to be to work. So I gets out. When they let me out, you know, most people, like, they waiting for their ride. Me, I ain't waiting. I ain't waiting at all. I don't need to be here no longer than what I want to be here. And this just, obviously, it ain't for me. I like my freedom. I like being able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, how I want to do it. Nobody telling me what to do. Like, you really feel like an animal or something. I don't know. Like, it just ain't a good feeling. And a day was enough for me to know that. I don't like it. So, and it wasn't even a day, to be honest. That was a couple hours. But to me, it felt like a day. And it's not. But as long as I'm getting out, it is what it is. And I know when I'm getting out, I'll go ahead and take whatever after this. As long as I'm getting out, I got churn. Like, no. So I get out, I start walking home. with my little shorts, my slides, all that. By this time, it's like, it probably was about 7. So I'm just like, okay, I got enough time to make it home, take me a shower, and go to work. You know, granted, I am going to be late because I still got to take my children to school and all that. But what ended up happening was, on my way home, my boyfriend mama, you know, she knew about it. I guess he had called her and let her know. So she picked me up and brought me home. So when I got here, I took a shower and I was just like, you know, I'm gonna just lay down for about 30 minutes and then I'm gonna get up and go to work. At the time, it's just like, I couldn't even argue with my boyfriend about why he ain't tell me, like, it didn't happen, it's over now. And it's just like, now I'm kind of just realizing like what I need to be doing and where I need to be. Now this really finna shift a lot for me because it's a new situation, something that I never been in before. And it really was bad timing because, like I said, I had a lot going on. It's crazy that my that next month in October, my grandma ended up passing away. Somebody ended up stealing like my purse out my car. You know, now I'm getting ready to go to court about this. I don't know how these people gonna judge me. I didn't get a lawyer because, like I said, I really didn't know much. I just felt like I was gonna be able to go in there and just state my truth and have somebody really understand where I was coming from. But them people don't give a fuck about that. Again, you commit the crime, you do the time. So I had a little public defender, and of course, you know, a public defender, they gon' it's whatever. First thing they throw out, they just like, oh yeah, take that, that'll be good. That way, they try to make it seem like they doing a lot for you, but they really ain't doing nothing. They really ain't doing nothing. But they still get paid. So yeah, they offered me like 5 years probation, 100 hours community service, and like paying the money back. And then I was restricted. Like if I wanted to travel and all that, I had to call and report at least a week or 2 in advance, let them know where I was gonna be. And of course I had to do the monthly reporting. Sometimes they would do urine tests. Like it just all over the place. I hated that whole process because it seemed like every doggone month or every 2 months, like I was getting a new probation officer. Like it was so aggravating. I did not like that shit at all. Like, no. You just, even though you ain't in jail, it kind of still feel like you is because you still restricted. Like I ain't used to having to tell nobody where I'm gonna be and you randomly deciding that you need to do a monthly checkup, or like, it was just crazy. But like I said, I wasn't a person that got in trouble or really did much to just be getting pulled over and called up and all that stuff all the time. Like I ain't have nothing going on like that to be worried. But y'all already know it don't take much. It don't take much. So that's what had me nervous. And then I have kids, and I just know if anything was to ever really happen, like who really got my kids like I got my kids? That was my thing. But I ended up completing all of the terms of that probation, the 100 hours, paying the money back. What else I said I had to do? 100 hours, paying the money back. And I don't forget. But although they granted me 5 years probation, I got it done in 2.5 months. I mean, I'm talking about 2.5 months. I wish 2.5 years. And since that was my first charge ever, it was adjudication withheld, and they pretty much, I can do, what it's called, Woo? You know what it's called? When your first charge, I think it's called expunging. Yeah, I think I can expunge it off my record since that's my first and only charge. Yeah. But I think it's a misdemeanor adjudication withheld. It was a felony charge. It was a felony charge, but I don't know. I really don't know. I just recently had to fill out an application that had that question on it. And I put yeah. But I feel like, even though, I mean, that is my truth though. So if you ain't gonna hire me, I'm sure it's still in my background because I ain't got it expunged yet. But either way it goes, if you ain't gonna hire me or if you ain't gonna consider me based on that mistake that I've made, then it ain't really for me anyway. So when I say yeah, I don't really be tripping. That just ain't for me, because there's somebody else that's gonna accept it or look at it as, okay, that was a mistake, it happened. It ain't like I got no continuous like crime history. Like my background ain't bad. I mean, some people may judge me off of that, but I know where I was in my life at the time. I know what I did. I accepted it for what it is, and I did what I was supposed to do. So initially, like, I was embarrassed about it, but now I ain't. That's why I'm on here talking about it. For real. That was a phase of my life, and that's over with now. Everything is a process. Ooh, my hair. Look. Ooh, it's so dirty. It's dirty. I'm almost done though. So yeah, that is pretty much what happened. I've learned my last couple of I think my last year of probation, it was sweet because with during the pandemic, like, they wasn't requiring us to come into the office to report. All we had to do was call. I was making my payments online, and I was always paying it over the amount that I was supposed to, that I was court ordered to pay. I would always pay more than what I was court ordered to pay, just because I wanted to hurry up and get it done. Like, that's something that I really had prayed for at the beginning of 2021. I said that I wanted to be free, like, of all restrictions and limitations. And that happened for me, and I'm real grateful for that. It taught me something, and I know now, don't be down lying. Not especially, not for no shit like that. Don't be taking up from these people, expecting that they just gonna be okay. Everything is a choice. Everything is a choice. So you're either gonna be the giver or you're gonna be the receiver. And anything, you the giver or you the receiver. So just keep that in mind when y'all out here doing what you do. Everything has a turnaround. Everything is in motion. Everything is connected. And one day you might be up, and there's another time where you're gonna be down. And that's just life. You gotta take it for what it is. But yeah, that's really the end of my story time. I mean, if y'all want to see me just finish taking out my hair, then that's cool, but I don't really have too much else to talk about as far as that. That's done and over with. I think I'm supposed to receive a I was supposed to receive like a little certificate in the mail that I wanted to actually be able to show, but it never came. So I do need to call them because I want my award. I want my certificate. I worked hard to get off probation. I did what I was supposed to do. So I am gonna call and ask about it. I looked it up online and I did see it online, but I need it in my hand, in my face. Show me. Big head. And so y'all, this ends the video. I hope that y'all enjoyed this content. I'm gonna go and wash my hair and take me a shower and stuff now so I can get my hair did. So in the next video, y'all should see my hair done. I love y'all to the moon and back.